Well, hi everyone. This is the Brad Free Report for Friday, August 24th, and the theme this week is unfinished business. And we're reminded of the unfinished business due to the recent retirements of some pretty outstanding horses, including none other than Unique Bella. She was an absolute freak when she fired. Unique Bella, here's the thing. This is the only time she was in a horse race. This was the La Brea Stakes on opening day of the winter meet. Most races, Unique Bella just ran away from the competition, but she had a fight on her hands. That was Paradise Woods on the inside, back when Paradise Woods was good. And Unique Bella in a horse race for once, and she won the race. She gutted it out. It wasn't the most impressive win from a speed figure perspective, but I think it was one of her better races because she had to fight for it. Unique Bella, unfinished business, yeah. She never raced beyond a mile and 1/16. What she did do is win 9 out of 12 starts, $1.2 million, and her retirement leaves a hole in the older filly and mare division, similar to the 3-year-old division. You know what I'm talking about. Justify. He made his career debut in February in a maiden race, and what an outstanding debut it was. This is Justify way back in February, winning by more than 9 lengths with a 104 Beyer speed figure. Watching this 3-year-old colt in February win in a maiden race, I bet there weren't too many people, perhaps aside from Bob Baffert, that said this horse is going to win the Triple Crown. But he did. He had a very short, abbreviated career, less than 4 months. He won all 6 races, the Triple Crown. Why is his career falling short of completing everything? Because he never faced older. I wonder how he would have done. I think he would have done very well. But Justify is done, along with Unique Bella. How about Fault? This one's going back a little ways. Fault in March at Santa Anita delivered an unbelievable performance in the Grade 1 Santa Margarita. She was switching to dirt after winning a grass race, and this is Fault winning clear by more than 6 lengths. This race was stamped her as a potential division leader the rest of the year. She won by more than 6, earned a 101 Beyer speed figure, but this 4-year-old daughter of Blame would start only one more time, and she also is done. Look, horses retire all the time. It's nothing new. It just seems a little bit more dramatic this year because of the lack of depth at the top of the division. Let's take a look at the list of recent retirees. Justify, he won the Triple Crown. Unique Bella, Grade 1 speed, a 9-time winner. B. Jersey, he won the Met Mile. He did not have a second half of 2018. Unbridled Mo, she won the Apple Blossom. She's done. Fault, we talked about her. And even Enola Gray, a 6-time stakes winner. Calbred, she's also done. So we've had some defections, and it happens every year. It's nothing new. But again, it just seems a little bit more dramatic due to the lack of depth at the top of the division. Well, speaking of horses that still have a few things left to prove, we're going to find out a little bit more about Catalina Cruiser on Saturday at Del Mar in the Grade 2 Pat O'Brien. It's race number 7, and it's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Catalina Cruiser is the 8-5 favorite, breaking from the inside post. Ransom the Moon, number 5, is the 5-2 second choice. And how about last year's top sprinter in the country, Roy H., listed at 3-1 off a disappointing comeback race? I think that Catalina Cruiser, I'm not going to say slam dunk, and I would love to be creative and pick against him. But the thing about the Pat O'Brien is this. There's not a whole lot of speed in this field. In fact, his main pace rival is one of his stablemates by the name of St. Joe Bay, also trained by John Sadler. St. Joe Bay and Horse Greedy also entered in the Pat O'Brien. They're not confirmed starters as of yet. There could be a defection or two. The pace scenario favors Catalina Cruiser, who has speed for position, will be forwardly placed in a race that is likely to unfold at a very tepid clip. And that's why I believe that Ransom the Moon is up against it. Ransom the Moon, if you liked him in the Bing Crosby, good handicapping. But also recognize that he took advantage of a very swift early pace. He rallied wide and won going away. His second win from 3 starts at Del Mar, Ransom the Moon. He won the Bing Crosby back-to-back years, but he has there's a different scenario as far as pace goes in the Pat O'Brien, stretching out from 6 furlongs to 7, not as much early pace to run at. And maybe Ransom the Moon will fall a little bit short. I think he will. I'd love to be creative, but I think Catalina Cruiser is a good thing on Saturday in the Pat O'Brien. I'm very curious to see how Roy H. runs. He was very disappointing by his own high standards, finishing second in the Bing Crosby. It was his comeback. I guess you have to give him a mulligan for that. But I suspect, not sure about this, but maybe Roy H. is not quite as effective as he was last year. We'll find out on Saturday. I think that Catalina Cruiser at 8-5 and possibly going down is the most likely winner. I'm not giving away any secrets, touting the favorite in the Pat O'Brien. Okay, I'm going to tout a horse at Saratoga. It's race number 11. It's the Grade 1 Travers. I have to confess right up front, I really wanted to find a horse I loved in here. As far as most likely winner, well, you have to look at Good Magic. I mean, he has had an outstanding career so far. 2-year-old champion last year. He won the Haskell Stakes last time out. This guy does nothing wrong. I'm not sure that 1.25 miles is his best distance, although he ran pretty well in the Kentucky Derby, finishing second to Justify. But here's the thing about the Travers Stakes. When you go through this field of 11 and start looking at the pace scenario, who's the only front runner in the field? What if you said to somebody, look, there's a lone front runner going 1.25 miles at Saratoga, and you didn't tell the person this horse's name, so there's no baggage and there's no preconceived notions on whether this horse can run or not. If you said lone speed at 12-1 going 1.25 miles at Saratoga, I'll take a shot. Well, I'm taking a shot on a horse by the name of Mendelssohn. Now, I don't know if Mendelssohn is as good now as he was in the UAE Derby, but doesn't Mendelssohn figure to be loose on the lead? And after being destroyed in the Dwyer, fast-paced Dwyer, why is trainer Aidan O'Brien, one of the best trainers in the world, coming back to New York to try again? Well, I think it's probably because he still believes Mendelssohn is a good horse. At 12-1, maybe he's no good. I'm going to take Mendelssohn on the front end, wire to wire, to win the Travers. As far as most probable winner goes, I'd be hard-pressed to get around Good Magic. But I'll take a flyer at 12-1 on Mendelssohn. Okay, unfinished business. That's the theme this week. Let's talk about a few tidbits. First of all, the Del Mar meet is coming to a close, and we have seen an unbelievable array of winning favorites. It started last year, 6 of 7 maiden sprints for 2-year-old colts last year were won by the favorite. This year, maiden special weight sprints, both genders, favorites are 9 for 11. It's probably going to be 10 for 12 after race 1 on Saturday. Honey from the South is 7-5 to win race number 1. I expect her to win. And that would make trainer Bob Baffert 7. Well, he's won with 6 first-time starters. Honey from the South will be making her second career start. I think she's a good thing. She made her debut for Dave Hoffman's, now trained by Bob Baffert and Honey from the South. I guess the point I'm making is we have seen an unbelievable series of low odds winners in the 2-year-old ranks. And it's cool to watch fast horses, but I'd like to see a little bit more competition because right now everything seems to be preordained as far as the 2-year-old races go. Here's something that's not preordained. And I'm always curious why in the middle of the year after Justify retired, there's such a rush to proclaim him Horse of the Year. Of course, he's the leading contender for Horse of the Year, Justify. Why don't we wait until the year is concluded before we actually cast our ballots? I know ballots aren't out yet, but let's wait because there are a lot of things that can happen. And the way that Accelerate won the Pacific Classic last weekend would suggest that he must at least be involved in the conversation. This is Accelerate winning his 3rd Grade 1 1.25 mile race this year in the Pacific Classic. Accelerate, runaway winner of the Pacific Classic, the early favorite for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Let's say Accelerate wins the Breeders' Cup Classic. 4 Grade 1 wins, including a campaign-ending win in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Wouldn't you have to at least consider him as Horse of the Year against Justify? I think you'd have to at least consider him. Yes, Justify is the leader right now, but Accelerate is making a strong case for himself. And as far as unfinished business goes, you have to at least recognize that trainer John Sadler, when he gets to Churchill Downs this fall, he's going to have a monkey on his back because Sadler has started 41 horses in the Breeders' Cup and has yet to win a Breeders' Cup race. Anybody who's watched and witnessed John Sadler train horses in Southern California will believe, as I do, that it's a statistical anomaly, and sooner or later, Sadler is going to start winning some of these Breeders' Cup races. Maybe it will happen this year. Okay, unfinished business. Well, unfortunately, it seems like the final nail in the Pick 6 in Southern California, the final nail in the coffin, will be hammered this fall by Santa Anita's decision to go to a 20-cent Rainbow Six. You know, once upon a time, the Pick 6 was an outstanding wager in Southern California, but the single ticket jackpot, this is strictly my opinion, has pretty much ruined the bet, and I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of upside to this Rainbow Six 20-cent deal this fall at Santa Anita. And here's why. Let me just do a little bit of math. The takeout rate for the Pick 6 is 23.68%. That means almost 77 cents of every dollar is returned to winning bettors, except not in the Rainbow Six deal, because 30% of that amount is allocated to the jackpot pool. So only 70% of 77 cents is returned to winning bettors. You know what that means? That means the takeout rate, the effective takeout rate for the Rainbow Six this fall at Santa Anita, 46%. Good luck making money betting into a 46% takeout. Look, I hope I'm wrong and Santa Anita does very well with the Rainbow Six. But there are plenty of other good wagers, more attractive wagers to focus our attention on than betting into a multi-race exotic with an effective takeout rate of 46%. And I have to give Santa Anita props because they are coming up with a 12% takeout rate for a Pick 5 that will include several Stronach tracks. So I don't agree with Santa Anita's decision with regards to this Rainbow Six, but I give them props for trying something new and also trying something new with regards to the Pick 5 that details will be soon announced. Okay, finally, this one has gotten a whole lot of publicity on social media for very good reason, and Gulfstream Park and the Florida Racing Commission are in the process of conducting an investigation into the ride by Tony Marra on August 19th at Gulfstream Park. Let's roll the tape, and you watch this jockey and determine whether or not he is trying. He's on the far outside. That's Tony Marra, far outside, riding a horse named Musical Heart. Now, sooner or later, do you think maybe this jockey might ask this horse to run? He's not asking him at all, at all, at all. No ask whatsoever. That is the epitome of a no try. So there is an investigation underway, as well there should be. And Tony Marra has already received a suspension and a fine, the greatest that were possible. And it'll be very interesting to see how this investigation concludes. It also will be interesting to see if Catalina Cruiser can make his way into the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile by winning the Pat O'Brien on Saturday, and if maybe Mendelssohn can wire the field in the Travers Stakes. I'm Brad Free. Talk to you soon.